Shalom and welcome to another, I'm not going to say episode of Elders GMS. This is a special. This is going to be entitled GMS Sit Down. And we have two camps here, or representatives of two state camps. One is the Chicago camp, and the brothers that you have seen for years, you know, the top brothers, so to speak, of Chicago, Chicago GMS. And we have Indiana camp GMS. We have two of the leaders of the Indiana camp. And, you know, we're here in New York in the studio. And basically this is an open forum. So, you know, without any further ado, let's get into this thing. Anybody have anything to say, grab the mic, go ahead and say it. All right. Basically, I want to say this. You know that we in the end of this deal, the end of the white man's world, the end of Esau's world. All right. The end of the last leg of the Roman Empire. Okay. So basically, when you watch our videos, mostly we get into prophecy. We get into we've been getting into the mark of the beast. Like some of the leaders out there in Chicago, they did a thing. I watched it the other day, actually about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where they went into the train system, all right, the metro system or whatever you call it, and they were showing that easy pass where you just kind of don't even have to swipe it, you kind of touch it, and basically you can go through. And they were basically speaking about how that's one more step closer to the mark of the beast. Because the mark of the beast is an incremental thing. All right? So what you do when you go into the scriptures, you read the scriptures, right? And then what you do is you do what's called a process of elimination. You look around, you watch the news, and you see what happens, and you see how it applies to the scriptures. Because how do we know that America is Babylon the Great? Because we studied about Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon, because you have Babylon the Great, which is today is modern day Iraq, but the scriptures speak about the daughter of Babylon. So what does it mean by the daughter of Babylon? Well, that means the spirit of ancient Babylon. And when you do some more process of elimination, it all fits to America. Okay, which is the great Hua in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. That's why you have to study. That's why you have to constantly study. The scriptures say, "Watch as well as pray," meaning watch the news. I mostly watch. You attest to that. I watch the news all the time. I watch CNN. I watch Euro News, which is out there based out of Europe. Al Jazeera, the BBC. I watch the financial news stations. And then when you watch the financial news statements, a lot of times they go into the mark of the beast. They go into the chip. Okay? Because if somebody comes up with the idea for setting up that chip, you know somebody's going to be behind it to make money off of it. There's always a person to make money off of it. And the government, which is all the world governments, starting with the U.S. and Europe, that the government wants to make money, and they want to track people. But they don't realize that they're fulfilling prophecy. They're doing what the scriptures told them that they were going to do. And the elite know that that's the mark of the beast. Because if they haven't figured it out themselves, they got it from us. Because the elite watches us all the time, man. They watch GMS. They watch Nate. They watch Johanna. They watch Bubble Eye Blackfish. They watch Zabak. They watch them guys in the Black Consciousness movement. There was a thing back in the day called COINTELPRO, man, where they had little spies in your different organizations, you know. Now, if you are a spy in an organization, guess what? You might turn around. Because when you do enough studying in the scriptures, it only makes sense, man. Like the black conscious community, they came down boldly with Sarnetta, and they didn't tell us about it. They just came down, and basically they told me up and down they're going to come back. They never came back. You know why? Because their head got messed up, man. You know what proved that their head got messed up? What did Sarnetta say when he had that argument with the second debate with Nasi? He was cursing out them Africans, saying, he said, what are you if you ain't no African, man? Go to get lost in Africa. He said, then what are you? He said, I'm a Hebrew. And I said that the day after them guys came down, we was in the hospital to visit a brother that was sick, and we said that look, if y'all keep coming down, you better be careful because you might convert. And sure enough, he converted. But he's been around them dudes so much that they kind of pulling him back in. You know? He's trying to get out of it. Now he acknowledged on the video that he's a Hebrew. And they kind of curse him out about that, man. And a lot of those guys know that they're Hebrews, man. Because who was that? One of y'all, the last time y'all came, you said that you ran into Aleem. Yep. You ran into Aleem, right? And you talked to him and you asked him, is he an Israelite? And what did he say?
Actually, I asked him, were we the Israelites? And he said, yes, we were. So
at one point they were saying they're not Israel, we're against Israel, but now they're slowly saying we are Israel. And this guy Sarah Sutin Seti, at the last debate, which everybody said he lost that debate, he basically said, yeah, all that stuff that we got it from the white man. And we questioned him on that. Where'd you get all that from? This guy Bro Polite, he mentioned the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Enuma Elish, and basically we said, well, where did that come from? He had to admit it came from the white man. Everything that these dudes got, as far as knowledge, they got it from the white man. This dude Shaka Amos, he'll mention a book titles, right? And in them books, when you go, what I do is I'll take the book. Okay, let me go to Google. It always leads back to a so-called Jew, mainly a so-called Jew. All those scholars that they mention, all those authors that they mention that write about the ancient Egyptians, all those archaeologists, they all go back to white people, man. I got this one video where Dr. Ben, this guy from Tell It Like It Is, Gil Noble, he had an interview with this guy, and he asked him, and this was back maybe in the mid 70s, late 70s, and he basically spoke about the fact that he knew all about the ancient Egyptians and their culture, and basically Dr. Ben Yayakum said that he learned it from the white man. And they called him, they said, you can come along, you little nigga. They said I had to deal with that. They called me African, which back then Jake didn't want to be called no African in the 70s, man. Until the so-called Black Power movement came out. So even Africans over there, the real Africans, they didn't want to be called Africans. They wanted to be like the white man. So now you got Jake's being conscious all over again with Kwanzaa and all that other stuff, man. But guess what? The Most High said he going to give me that in 1 Corinthians, what is that? 1 Corinthians, I believe it's 4:9, is it? My apostles last. Go ahead, Hot.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. For I think that the Most High has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world.
What is the word? When you look up the word spectacle, Hot. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why them black conscious guys are coming to us now. The whole focus is on the Israelites. We didn't say, well, let's go up to them. If you want to think that you are Kemetic, which like to this day, they can't even tell me who Kemet is. Right. Is it the name of a culture? Is it the name of a man? I know what the word Kemet come from, man. But do they know? And if they admitted to where Kemet came from, they would have to agree that the Bible is correct. And then they're saying that the Bible was plagiarized. But then when you constantly